The left attacks Donald Trump for opposite reasons. They attack him for being too effective and right-wing and awful and terrible, and they attack him for being lazy and not doing anything and just watching Fox News all day. And it can't be both. They've obviously come to a conclusion and they're in search of an argument. But the way that President Trump works, 60% executive time, 15% meetings, one, I think that's a pretty good idea. And two, I think it's pretty emblematic of our time and the way that we work these days. You know, there was a study that just came out. About half of Americans consider themselves workaholics. 48% consider themselves workaholics. They have, on average, 7.5 hours of screen time daily. This makes sense. A lot of us are on our screens for work. And if you're not on your screen a lot for work, maybe you're on some screen, or you're obviously using screens in all your personal life. What does it mean to be a workaholic? It's not the people who are in the coal mines for 18 hours a day. What they mean is that they worry about work on a day that they're off. What it means is that, this is just how they described it, they feel too busy to take a vacation ever. It means that the minute they wake up, they're on their phone, they're checking email, they're right away logged on. 58% of respondents say that they do that. I certainly do that. They say that these are the top 3 symptoms of workaholicism. Does this mean that we're working harder all the time? No, actually it doesn't. But what it means is that we're almost never not working. I mean, I say this as a man who sleeps 27 hours a day. You know, I'm not working like grinding away at the coal mine all day long. But I am always sort of working. It's very rare that I'm not working, and I don't think I'm the only one. I think most people are there checking emails. In the old days, you would have business hours, and then after business hours, you wouldn't really be bothered. Now, what's business hours? I get calls all through the night. I make calls all through the night, and I expect people to pick up on the East Coast or on the West Coast. President Trump is emblematic of this. He's always sort of working. So when he's watching Fox and Friends and tweeting, that is, obviously that's work. He's gaining information, he's pushing his agenda, he's in one of his biggest roles, he's a spokesman, he's a communicator. That's maybe the chief charge of the president as a political figure. And that doesn't have business hours. The modern economy doesn't have business hours. So, you know, there are some proposals now, I just read one of them, where a few companies are giving women over 30 time off to date. You think this is ridiculous. What a ridiculous idea. These millennials are so coddled, whatever. I actually think it's a pretty good idea. Because what it makes us aware of is the one moral hazard of our economy, of our work hard, free markets, capitalist American economy, which is so wonderful. The one hazard is that we lose perspective and we think that we're just economic creatures. We're just automatons, consumers, whatever. But really, life is so much more than that. That's one aspect of what we do, but we only do that to serve ourselves. We have higher aims than just buying a lot of nice stuff. We have relationships and duties and responsibilities to our families, to our communities, and to our God. We have a purpose in our life beyond just consuming the nicest electronics. And in this economy, it's especially, I've lived in New York and LA, it's really hard for people to date because they're working all the time. And so I think this actually, in a kind of silly way, is addressing that problem. And more executive time is, if that's the way of the American economy, so be it. I mean, that's good, and we can be more effective that way. And if private solutions are coming around to trying to get a little bit more of a balance in life and try to make you see that life is about more than just chugging away on Excel spreadsheets or something, I think that's a good move too.